Welcome to a very special episode of Avillion and Brayden Talks. There is a lot to talk about.
There is a lot. My cat already making his appearance, grooming himself on my bed there. Shout out Bowie. This is a jam-packed
This is a
episode.
big one.
There was some news that dropped today
And
that
I
we'll talk
am
about in a minute.
beyond thankful
Um,
I get the episode. And I
yes.
will be joined, as always, with my wonderful co-host here, Avillion Talks. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful for something I've been talking about like all season long that I'm gonna get into later. But how are you doing?
Doing great. Doing
Fantastic. I've only got one left that I'm saving
very
for the
great.
weekend, so I can't crack one with you. But I'm doing well.
But we can't talk about us because there is
Too much
so
else
much
going
of
on.
other stuff to be
I
talking
don't
about.
have much to say anyway. So there was a football game that happened last night, wasn't there?
Yes, and I actually watched a college football game.
Look at you
That's
go.
crazy.
Look at you go.
At first, I wasn't entertained because it wasn't close, and then it got close, and then it ballooned to not being close again.
Yep. That slipped away real
But
fast.
I think the score doesn't do the game justice. It
It
was a
was probably a bit
seven.
closer.
It was a 7-point game most of the time.
Plus, the officiating was definitely leaning hard towards the Michigan side of things.
Yeah.
There were, I don't even know how many missed holding calls on Michigan, whether it be holding in the secondary or holding on Washington's defensive line. There were,
Wasn't there a
ACC
12 men on the
refs,
field that at least I didn't count, but the broadcast was like, "Oh my God, they have 12 and they snapped it. We're not calling this. We're not. Hold on."
I didn't see it,
But I feel like everyone ultimately agrees the right team won.
well, yeah, I like Michigan is the better football team. I don't want to say they didn't deserve this win, but I just wish it was a fairly officiated game so that there would be no room for the discourse to begin with. Because it sucks when any playoff game is like the officiating is clearly one sided.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to take over the game, and you don't want them to not call a fair game either.
Yeah.
And
But let's just get off the officiating. Michael Penix, what is your feeling? I'm seeing some harshness. How do you feel?
I don't want to overreact. This is an elite defense for Michigan, and he was playing injured in the game as well. His ribs,
Ankle got stepped on as well.
Yeah, playing injured, pretty bad.
Hard not to get injured when his O-line plays
severe pain in this game.
Yeah,
and yeah, he was getting beat up.
His O-line, number 73, that brother's got to go.
It's not to say that he played well in this game, but it's hard to say this is all Penix's fault.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I said this earlier in the chat. My opinion of him hasn't really changed. The feeling was already he needs to go to a team with a good offensive line. That was already the feeling. And it's
with
just
his
like
injury history, he's not very mobile, and we saw it in this game. What happens when the defensive line gets the better of him, and that's something that's going to probably put a limit on his potential in the NFL. He's probably never going to be a top 10-ish quarterback because he lacks mobility.
I think he could get into the 10.
The borderline, I think, is probably where he'll.
Yeah, I mean,
when he reaches his ceiling, borderline top 10.
Like, what's your opinion of Tua? I think is what this comes down to.
Oh well, yeah, I don't think he's much different than Tua.
Yeah.
It's not just the lefty comparisons; it's the injury history, it's the
mobility,
not the fastest guy on the field. I think Penix actually has a little more to him physically than Tua does in terms of size, arm strength's a little stronger. He's got. But granted, I mean, Tua's great because he's in a system that fits him perfectly. Not to say that Tua himself isn't the one making the throws, but I don't think, like, personally, I don't view system quarterback as a bad thing. I think if you're succeeding very well.
How many non-system quarterbacks are there?
Right.
4?
Every quarterback in the league benefits from, a system that's tailor-made to like Lamar Jackson this year. Todd Monken built that offense around him, and he looks awesome. And that's not to say Lamar is a system quarterback, because he would sucdeed no matter what, because he's just absurdly talented.
Mahomes without Andy Reid, he still would be a good quarterback.
We've never seen him without him, but I firmly believe he'd be good. But regardless, Andy Reid's system certainly benefits Mahomes. You can say this about any successful quarterback in the league. They benefit from the only guy who, and I can't believe I'm going to bat for him. Justin Herbert hasn't necessarily gotten the best offensive mind. Who's like, yeah, let me tailor perfectly to Herbert's strengths.
Now,
That's the one
Keenan
time
Allen
I'm ever
helps you feel less bad
yeah.
for him.
That's the only time I'm ever going to to step up to the plate for Justin Herbert. But
Right.
anyways, speaking of Michigan here in this game, Jim Harbaugh.
The
I
storyline.
feel more so than ever now that he is probably gone.
He did what he
I
wanted to
think
do.
there's enough openings in the NFL. The Raiders are super. I mean, every day I'm seeing a new report about the Raiders. I think the Chargers are very likely. He just hired an agent who I think represents somebody in the Chargers. Some kind of connection between his
I
new
thought
agent
his
and the
agent
Chargers.
was like formerly like with Brady, and that was the
That
tie-in
too,
with the
but
Raiders.
there's a tie with the Chargers as well.
Mm.
So
That's gonna be. But do you know who I think would outbid? Like who would win that bidding war? I
who
mean,
would that be?
I would think it'd be the Raiders.
I just hire the fucking interim. Like you made the mistake last time not hiring Rich Bisaccia. The players love Antonio
They
Pierce.
do.
You scored a 60 burger with Antonio Pierce.
I
Give him a
definitely
year.
think Antonio Pierce
Give him
should
a year.
be hired as the head coach.
Honestly, I feel like this is a very top-heavy head coaching cycle with these candidates,
There's
but
tons.
I think the well dries quick. As far as like once the top guys are gone, there's really not a whole lot else to pick from.
I think we'll
I
do a
think
head coaching. They get filled up
like
pretty quickly though, so I don't know when we'll have the
yeah.
chance to.
We'll see. Well, granted, it's going to be a while before the guys in the playoffs get interviewed because even if you lose in the wild card round, it's not until 3 days after
Because
that
I was
loss
just
that you
thinking, how
get to
many
get interviewed.
open jobs do we have?
Atlanta is open. The
Atlanta,
Raiders are theoretically open.
Atlanta
Tennessee
Raiders,
open.
Chargers,
Titans.
Titans.
Another domino could still fall.
What happens
I
with
think
Bill?
Eberflus stays. Well, if Bill goes, Vrabel's get there. That's chalk. That's a lock. There's no shot Vrabel isn't a Patriot if Bill is gone. No chance. Absolutely no chance. It's
Yeah.
Vrabel. And Arthur Smith will be his offensive coordinator. I firmly believe that too. Regardless of where Vrabel goes, he's taking Arthur Smith with him. But I feel like it's almost a lock that New England is going to have Mike Vrabel and Arthur Smith coaching next year. Which honestly, as long as Arthur Smith has somebody with him that tells him, "Hey, maybe don't be stupid with your personnel choices," I think he could be fine. He was a pretty good offensive coordinator in Tennessee, albeit a tad overrated. I
I mean,
always
I'm
had
pretty
Mike
sure
Vrabel.
you've seen all of the Vrabel
Yeah.
to New England and gets Arthur Smith as
Mhm.
OC talk.
That's what I mean. I started the talk personally, at least among my circle. I was like, as soon as Arthur Smith was fired, I'm like, yep, Vrabel's going to New England. He's taking Arthur Smith with him. It's gonna happen. Speaking of Vrabel,
Here we go.
I woke up this morning fully ready to start talking about trade scenarios and what could we get from New England in a package. I was thinking maybe in some universe there's a chance that we trade the seventh pick and we get the third pick and Marvin Harrison Jr. wears the two-tone blue. I thought that was the most unrealistic option of a trade package is moving up in the draft. I figured we would get some kind of like future high pick, maybe the second round pick this year from New England because I think they're like 34th or whatever, which that's basically a first rounder. I would take pick 34, but we fired him straight up today, just a couple hours ago. In fact, as of recording, like 2.5 hours before
Wasn't
we
it a
started.
mutual parting of ways?
That's what they say. That's what I told you it would be when it happened. I
Mhm.
said they would never openly fire Vrabel. It's going to be mutually part. It's going to be agreed to part ways. But then Diana Rossini, I think it was, immediately tweeted out, "Oh yeah, Vrabel never asked for a release. This was the organization." And then our owner put out a statement that said, "I will never apologize for having unapologetically high expectations for this football team. And I feel if like if things aren't good enough, like changes will be made." And you know what? Everybody last year was in full support of her firing John Robinson because they said, look, he had some good draft classes, but clearly it wasn't good enough. And everybody said, okay, that she's got balls firing John Robinson and bringing in a new hire. Now these same people are turning on Amy Adams Strunk and saying that they would they're citing like we've got people who are bigger Mike Vrabel fans than Tennessee Titans fans. These are the same people who would have supported Palpatine when he reorganized the Republic into the first galactic empire. Now I understand how dictators rise to power because these people would have rather had Mike Vrabel have complete and total control of the front office than have a real football organizational chart. Because what's going to happen, and it's already been confirmed that Diana Rossini, who I to give her her flowers, I don't think there's a single reporter in the league outside of like actual Tennessee Titans reporters that is more plugged into this football team year in and year out than Diana Rossini. Every year she gives concise, accurate information on this football team. Every single year, without failure. Always on top of it. So shout out Diana Rossini. She has said already that it is Rand Carthon who will be in charge of the head coaching search. And if that's the case, bring me Bobby Slowick and bring him to me yesterday. Um, Already has a relationship with Rand Carthon. Rand Carthon has spoken very highly of him in the past. Bobby Slowick has done a great job in Houston this year. We can't interview him. Hopefully, Houston loses in the wild card, but puts up a lot of points offensively against a very good defense. And then, um, hopefully, hopefully 3 days after the wild card, we interview Bobby Slowick, and hopefully things go well and we bring him in. If not Bobby Slowick, Ben Johnson, of course. I love Ben Johnson. I would love Ben Johnson. I think he would be perfect for Chig Okonkwo. Comes to mind immediately with what he's done with Sam Laporta. I think Chig's got not the same athletic skill set, but a similar enough one to where you know Ben Johnson could scheme him up pretty good. I think he would. I haven't necessarily given up on Traylon Burks, and I feel as though if Ben Johnson were here, maybe that's something he could unlock. Um, the only defensive coordinator I would even remotely consider hiring would be Mike McDonald because I love Mike McDonald. I've been talking about him all year. The only reason I wouldn't necessarily get excited about that is because I feel as though Amy in her statement on firing Mike Vrabel even mentioned that this team had brought in a promising young quarterback in the last season. That to me means we're bringing in an offensive guy, and that's what it should mean because ideally the coaching search should be centered around Will Levis
Of
because you
course.
should be you should be building the team at this point around Will Levis. I think like everybody in the world can unanimously agree Will Levis
He's
has shown enough
to
to
get
at
that
this
shot.
point you want to at least try to get pieces around him that are going to support him to see if that helps him grow because he has done enough to
Like
to
Malik
to earn
Neighbors.
like Malik Neighbors. I'll get into the draft talk just a little bit as well, but as far as the head coaching search goes, I think the reason Bobby Slowick is my number one choice is because one, again, pre-existing relationship with the general manager. He already knows him. They already have a good working relationship. There would be no like chemistry build up. It's a plug and play thing with Slowick. You bring him in, him and the GM are already in lockstep. They see football similarly. They come from the same organization. They know what winning football looks like over there in San Francisco. Go ahead and
Gross.
just bring him in. So, um, not to mention, you're taking away C.J. Stroud's, your division rival's quarterback. You're taking away his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You're taking away D'Amico Ryan's offensive coordinator, and you're giving him to your young quarterback. That to me, that's a double whammy. That's a twofer.
Of the
You're
highest
bringing in a
degree.
guy. You're bringing in a guy who is good friends with your general manager. You're taking away consistency from a fast developing young quarterback in your division, um, and you're giving stability because now you have an offensive head coach. The play calling is going to be the same every year. You're never going to have to worry about the offense because the offense is going to be the same. There's going to be consistency for Will Levis for the next 3 years of his rookie deal, and to me, it is the most slam dunk hire the Titans could make. It makes the most sense. I think Slowick would be interested in coming to Tennessee. There's no state income tax. He would have $85 million in cap space to work with. Bring that ass here, boy. Um, as far as the draft pick goes, beating Jacksonville only cost us one spot in the draft. We stayed at 7. Had we lost the game, we would have moved to 6. The Giants would have picked 7th instead. I don't think the Giants are interested in Olu Fashanu, they could be if they want to move Evan Neal to guard. Maybe they'd be interested in Joe Alt or Olu Fashanu.
They might be. That offensive line is bad.
But regardless, the pick there should be Jaden Daniels.
You think he's still there? I could see.
Be,
I see a world where quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3.
I don't think New England's taking Jaden Daniels. I don't think Mike Vrabel's taking Jaden Daniels. That's not his. He's taking Joe Alt. Or no, excuse me. He's taking J.C. Latham 3rd overall because he can run block. J.C. Latham blocks his ass off.
And running back with Mac Jones?
Yeah, and he's signing Derrick Henry probably. Mac Jones is Mike Vrabel's type of quarterback. He's a game manager.
Oh,
That's exactly who Mike Vrabel wants. Is like, we need to establish the run. We need to get into third and manageable. We need to protect the football. Mac Jones can protect the football. He's accurate. Like Mac Jones is the type of quarterback Vrabel would love. I don't know. I feel like I'm already in my head canon. Mike Vrabel's already the head coach of the New England Patriots, and Mac Jones is somebody he would absolutely believe in if he was.
something's gonna come out during this recording where it's like, Bill Belichick will be staying on as head coach, but will be relieved of general manager duties.
However, however, no matter what, one of either Joe Alt, Olu Fushanu, Romo Dunze, or Malik Neighbors is going to be there at pick 7, guaranteed. Because
Mhm.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to get taken top 3. The 2 top quarterbacks are going to get taken top 3. Jaden Daniels could likely get drafted before pick number 7. That's at least 3 guys already getting picked. So the other 3 spots could be Joe Alt, Olu Fushanu, and Malik Neighbors. Whatever, Roma Dunze's still there. It could be any combination of those guys, no matter what. My 4 realistic targets at pick number 7, at least one of them is guaranteed to be there. That to me, it as long as one of those 4 names are called on draft night, it's impossible to fuck up the 7th pick. Because the top quarterbacks are already going to.
Oh, it's possible.
I said as long as it's one of those. It's possible to fuck up. We could take like the 6th best offensive tackle at 7th overall. Totally possible. If Alton Fashanu are gone and we take J.C. Latham, I'm shooting myself on live.
I thought
Not
previously you had said that you've that idea has grown on you and you'll be okay with it.
I don't like. I do not want to take a right tackle at 7th overall. I'm sorry. There's really only 2 great left tackles in this draft class, and unfortunately, they're just the 2 best tackles in general. Everybody else, Fuaga, Mims, Latham, they're all right tackles. You either take the gamble on moving one of them to the left side and hope they can make that transition, which most guys struggle with that transition in general, especially as a rookie.
Of course.
Rookie offensive linemen in general are usually not great. It's very rare that you can get a rookie offensive lineman come into the league and just be spectacular. Quentin Nelson's don't come around every year. It's just not how it works. Andrew Thomas was terrible his rookie year. He's an all-pro now, but Andrew Thomas was abysmal. Okay, that's a little harsh, but he was pretty bad. He maybe came on a little bit late, but which you do see often. But I do not want to take a right tackle 7th overall. I want an instant impact left tackle or an instant impact wide receiver. I do not care for right tackle at pick number 7. Honestly, I don't really want to trade back either. Having a top 10 pick this year, take advantage. Take one of these really good blue chip caliber players. Go get yourself something nice. Go get yourself something nice. Get a Malik Neighbors, get a Romo Dunze, get a Joe Alder or Olufashanu if either of them are still there. Either get a left tackle for your young quarterback or get him a real wide receiver. But do not skip. Do not sell.
A fullback with the 7th overall pick?
God, if we take Dallas Turner or something 7th overall, not that I don't like Dallas Turner.
The Tennessee Titans select Blake Corum, 7th overall.
Oh my fucking God. Don't even get me started. I mean, I like Blake Corum, but
now that Derrick Henry's gone, we really like the idea of just a 2-headed backfield, so we needed to get somebody to work with Tajay Spears.
Is that your Ren Carthon or Bobby Slowick impression?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't think either of those guys sound like that. But
I highly doubt it.
This to me, even more so than last season, this is the most important offseason you can argue in the history of the Tennessee Titans. Not necessarily overall as a franchise, but going to the Oilers days. But as the Tennessee Titans, this is the most important offseason, I think, at least that we've had in a long time. This is a big swing at a coaching change. You're really committed to building something new at this point. You've completely cleaned house now over the last 2 seasons. You fire the GM one year, you fire the coach, you got the coaching staff the next season. There's a couple guys I'd be okay with keeping, like Tony Dews, the running backs coach, who I think he was the tight ends coach this year. I'd like to keep him. If he stays, awesome. Charles London, the quarterback coach, he's been around. He's worked with a lot of people. I thought he did a good job with Will Levis. I'd be okay with keeping Charles London. But there's very few guys where I'm like, he's got to stay. He's got to be on this team next year. For the most part, if whoever we hire, hopefully Bobby Slowick comes in and completely cleans house, brings in his own guys. That's fine. His own guys are gonna be like San Francisco and Houston guys. So yeah, go ahead and bring in some go ahead and bring in some pieces. So to me, as long as we bring the right coach to the door, which not a whole lot of candidates I love, but there's enough. Um, I'm excited for the future of this football team, and I'm almost positive it's going to be an offensive-minded head coach. So at the very least, you're bringing in somebody who, if he works out, you're giving Levis consistency at play calling for the next few years. You look like you've got something to say. I think
I,
I've said my piece. I've said my piece on this situation at this point. I wanted to keep it a little bit brief.
I'll be
I went a
honest.
little over.
My brain was like, it was just thinking about later in the pod,
Okay,
and
you've
just.
got something big planned
I
for
mean,
us.
I wasn't even necessarily laughing at. I was. I just can't wait for us to pick playoffs.
So what are we doing now? We discussing the Cowboys,
I
or
think
you
I
don't have
don't.
much to say?
I don't have anything to say.
Two seed, by the way. Congratulations, 2 seed.
We'll see if that ends up mattering.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, hang on. If trends are to continue and you lose to the 49ers in the playoffs again, that means you're going at least to the NFC Championship this year. It's going to be a third round exit, not a second round exit.
But if we do that and we lose in the same fashion, my fear is we run it back completely because hey, we've got another step.
Anybody after the NFC Championship?
Yeah, because we got another step further, and I will be okay with running it back if we go to the NFC Championship game, but it has to be either a close loss against the Niners. Obviously, a win. We go to the Super Bowl, fucking run it back as well.
Yeah,
but close loss to the Niners, I'd have to see. I really have to see the game play out, or a decent loss to somebody else. Like I don't know what the seed, how it would work out to be different, but then again, that would be at home then, so that would make it harder. But championship game, another step further. I can live with running it back, but blowout loss to the Niners, or even not score wise a blowout loss, but if I never really feel in the game. I mean, I've said my piece about. I feel like every single week.
Yeah.
I have talked about.
You've reinforced. You've been steadfast in your beliefs in this team
since
for a long time now.
The Niners game. Really, I don't think I've really changed overall. I think.
No.
I think Mike has grown on me. Dak's also grown on me a little bit because of how they've played together, how they've worked together. But I think ultimately I'm still at the stage of like. Most likely scenario is a disappointing playoffs, and what I will want is not running back the same head coach quarterback combo, switching one up.
Got you.
And I've also let it be known that $60 million, which is like what it could be for Dak, is
a lot of money.
Unacceptable. So I would prefer keeping Mike and rolling the dice on a quarterback.
Speaking of playoff seedings over there in that conference, when we did our final playoff predictions, I was excited because I got to welcome back the Packers and the Rams. Well, the Packers and the Rams have both made the playoffs.
Don't get ahead of yourself here.
I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm just
do you want to pick season award winners first and then do like playoff predictions?
Let's do
because that's that's all regular season. We could look back one last time and then move forward.
Oh, speaking of regular season and playoffs, Jags ain't going. We knocked them out. We got our lick back from last year. I was so distracted by the Mike Vrabel news. I completely glossed over this. We got our lick back. The Jags had pretty much the exact same season arc the Titans did last year. Complete late season collapse and lost to a division rival in the last game of the season to keep them out the postseason. It's tragic. Shit tragic. New panic. Shit can get tragic. What a great send-off game for Derrick Henry, who had a $150 and a touchdown on only 19 carries. Tyjae Spears, 2 touchdowns in that game. My boy, Tyjae Spears. I can't wait to see Bobby Sloy coach Tyjae Spears next year. But anywho, we could do the season awards now.
All right. I'm assuming we want to start with the big one, MVP.
It's Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, and we've bounced around our MVP picks. They were mostly bouncing around between the same people.
But Lamar has mostly been our guy.
He's definitely been our quarterback guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
For the most part, I think I said Purdy one time just because of what the
And I
odds were
think
at
for
that moment.
1 week, I don't
But
know, but it wasn't like a quarterly check-in like we've been doing, so it wasn't officially like that. But I think 1 week I did feel Dak. And I still
yes,
think Dak could probably, and maybe even should end as like one of like the
he's
finalists
gonna
or
be a
whatever.
finalist for sure. He's gonna be a
But
finalist.
yeah, I mean, we've both been on Lamar pretty
Yeah,
much all
and
year.
I think he's earned it. Again, the I've seen people make the argument that he doesn't have the statistical season for it. If you've watched Ravens games this year, he'd have at least 10 more passing touchdowns if his receivers could just
Well,
catch
his
passes.
final game helped that with like 5 passing
Yeah,
touchdowns or
yeah.
whatever.
Well, death, taxes, and Lamar against the Miami Dolphins
Right,
with
second
a
to
perfect
last.
passing
That was
touchdown.
that one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was his last game. He didn't play against Pittsburgh
Yeah, oh
this
yeah,
past
yeah,
week. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, this is the most talked about award, and Lamar's going to be the guy you talked about a lot. So I don't know if we
Mhm.
even need to really stay on it. And
No,
also,
no,
we've
we're
talked
good.
about him for weeks
No, no,
because
Lamar. We've both said our piece on
we're
Lamar
both been
regardless.
high on him as a player, and I mean, I'm assuming you're the same, but love him as a person.
Coming into the season, I said he's a top four quarterback in the league. I've never lost faith in Lamar. Greg Roman's offense didn't exactly tailor to him developing as a passer. I have always had that faith in Lamar. I'm glad it was well placed. I'm glad Lamar is playing well. I'm happy for him.
He was probably
Uh,
my fourth. I don't know if I ever really wrote it. I would assume because the only
it
quarterbacks that
was,
would have been like Herbert. You know how me and you were on the same page about
yeah.
Herbert. Hurts would be
I've
the other one that people talked about. I'm an Eagles hater, so
Hurts was never. I hated the fact that there was ever even a discourse that Hurts could maybe be better than Lamar Jackson. That was fucking stupid. I am
well, no.
so
What
so
got
happy
really
with it.
crazy was when it was
Oh
like
my
it
goodness.
was Hurts over like Allen and Burrow as well.
Yeah, I saw somebody say Hurts was top two. I'm like,
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people say Hurts was top
because
two.
he
I'm like,
made the Super Bowl.
this is fucking stupid. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't care what your stats look like. If I'm watching these
Dude, this
games and you
Eagles
don't look impressive to
collapse has
me,
been
I don't care.
so good for me.
Oh, 2-5 ever since Sirianni bitched and moaned at Chiefs fans after that win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't hear
yeah.
any shit anymore.
I, I don't I don't hear any shit anymore, Chiefs fans.
It's like
Hey,
you do now, buddy. Your
where's the
job is
camera?
on the line.
If everybody could do it, everybody would do it. What a
His,
fucking
I
loser.
don't know if
Oh
it
my
really is,
god.
but his job might be on the line now.
No, he's fine, but it was just a fucking man
If there was an
child, dude. I mean,
organization
this is,
to fire a coach after something like this, I can see the Eagles being in that
I
organization.
firmly believe he's not mature enough to be a head coach. He's a child. Nick Sirianni is a child in a grown man's body. I wish I could just punch him in the face with no legal repercussions because he just has that face.
Oh,
Like
you're talking to the right guy.
he just has that face. I'm not inciting violence, by the way. YouTube guidelines. I'm just saying it's something I wish I could.
This is satirical.
This is purely for entertainment purposes. Yeah, actual child.
Anyways, this was from the
Moving
MVP
on.
talk.
Offensive
Player of the year.
It's McCaffrey. I think we don't need to spend any more time.
100% agree with you there. If
By far
Tyreek
and
had hit
away,
2,000
the
yards, he
leader in
would have won
rushing
it. But
yards. He didn't even hit 1,800 after
Yep.
the injuries. Barely ahead of CeeDee Lamb.
Barely.
Lamb had 1,700 as well. He
you
only had
could
like 50 less yards.
now, if you look back at the whole season holistically, CeeDee Lamb might have had the best year. I think he led in receptions. I
He
know.
had like 135 catches or some shit.
Yeah, he led in receptions. Tyreek led in yards, and I think Mike Evans led in.
They all had double digits.
Yeah.
Touchdown. Like I think Mike Evans had like 12 or 13. Tyreek Hill had like 14. I think CeeDee also had like 13. So
Yeah.
they all had a lot of touchdowns. It's pretty close. But yeah, all in all, CeeDee Lamb should be an All Pro.
Yeah, it'll be him and
Not
Mike
even
Evans,
close.
or him and Tyreek Hill. I
Yeah.
mean,
It should be for first team. It should be those two.
Yeah.
Second team, I would give it to probably AJ Brown and
I guess.
he kind of. It's hard to say he fell off towards the end of the season because that whole Eagles collapse wasn't really AJ Brown's fault
Yeah.
necessarily. But do you want to do defensive player of the year? This one's an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, this is the one I'm like so. I think ultimately, I'm gonna just go with Micah Parsons. I'm gonna
I was going to as well. He's
he-
the NFL leader in
pressures. I value
uh,
pressures a
more than
lot,
sacks.
honestly.
Yes. unless there's a giant disparity in sack, like for example, Aiden Hutchinson is second in the league in pressures, but in terms of sacks, doesn't quite have that
Yeah.
production everybody else does. Um, but Hutchinson, honestly, Hutchinson has a great year.
He had a great year.
Deserves to
Amazing
be in
year.
the conversation. I will give a quick shout out to Josh Allen. Not that I think he's going to be really in the running for this, but he's had a fantastic season, and he does deserve to be talked about at the very least. Acknowledge the season that he's had.
Yeah.
He truly became that guy. I remember when we did our deep dive in the beginning of the season, we did our division predictions.
Mm-hmm.
I said one of my questions for Jacksonville was, can Josh Allen finally emerge as the true dominant pass rusher we all know he can be? And the answer is yes.
I'm sure you've seen this clip, but all I can think about is that one Giants fan when they had drafted Daniel Jones.
Oh my God.
He's going to be in a gold jacket, Josh Allen.
I was pissed on their behalf. I'm
Yeah.
like, you just handed. I was pissed also because Jacksonville got handed Josh Allen on a silver platter. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. You needed an edge rusher. Daniel Jones would have been there in round 3, much less round 2, and you passed on a blue chip edge rusher prospect. Like, this is why the Giants suck. This is why you can't have nice things. And did you see the reporter ask Daniel Jones if the Giants should take a quarterback high? Obviously, what the fuck do you think he's gonna say?
That's hilarious, though.
What in the world? Like, what response could Daniel?
This is what the reporter did. They were like, "I'm about to get a crazy sound bout." Do you think you should be replaced?
No.
Fuck, that didn't go as well as planned.
Yeah, I don't know if they were expecting Daniel Jones to have some kind of heated reaction. That's not who he is.
No.
He's a pretty mellow guy, I would say, all things considered.
Yeah.
Pretty laid back dude. Probably on the spectrum, to be honest with you. That's just the vibe I get. I don't have any evidence to base that off of. That's just purely based on vibes. I feel like
his googly eyes
or something. Just based on the vibe, man. I don't know. Like, hearing him talk, he's a little awkward sometimes. Like, I don't know. I feel like Daniel Jones could be on the spectrum. But anyway, this is down of Daniel Jones' spectrum guessing segment. I would say Micah Parsons, the league leader in pressures, most dominant player on one of the most dominant defenses in the league.
Held every single play and that's never called.
Yeah, like it's a legitimate problem.
It's crazy. It's to the level that even Cowboys haters are like, this bro's getting held all the time. I saw a comment was like, dude's held every play, would have 30 sacks this season, and I'm a Cowboys hater. And that's how you know it's bad, when a Cowboys player is getting that type of understanding on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, TJ Watt, obviously, I think he leads the league. Did he ultimately lead the league in sacks?
I think yes. So I think either him and Josh Allen are tied, or Allen's just a touch behind him.
But
I think TJ Watt has 19. I think Josh Allen also has 19 though.
I thought it was a 17 finish.
No, I think it's 19.
Wow.
I think it's 19. But yeah, TJ Watt ultimately the league leader in sacks. Myles Garrett, been dominant all year.
Obviously, one of the best defenses in the league as well.
Yeah. And you know what? Playoff Flacco, I cannot wait to watch the Texans versus.
We'll talk about it.
I've got a vested interest in that game as a Bobby Slowick enthusiast who wants him on my football team. But yeah, I cannot wait to watch Playoff Flacco. We'll get to that though.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. This one I struggle with. This one I really struggle with because C.J. Stroud
missed a couple games.
Well, no, that's not necessarily the issue for me. It's that he had arguably the best. I think, regardless of the stats, I think C.J. Stroud as a player was a better quarterback than Justin Herbert was his rookie season.
I agree. Yes, I agree for sure.
Best, and I say this as a Houston Texans hater. Not only are they a division rival, they are my least favorite team in the division. I hate them more than Indy or Jacksonville. And they've never even won anything. They're the only team in the league never to have gone to a conference championship. I still hate them more than everybody else. I say this as a professional Houston Texans hater. C.J. Stroud had the best rookie season we have ever seen from a quarterback.
Agreed.
However,
we also saw one of the best rookie seasons from a different position.
Nakua broke the single season receiving yards record for a rookie wide receiver.
He'll be on the banner.
Not only that, he will be on the banner. No, he was third in the league in receiving yards or some shit. Or no, he was fourth. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown had 1,500. But he was fourth or fifth in the league in receiving yards as a fifth-round rookie, and
helped the team go to playoffs.
Broke the record for most receiving yards in a rookie season. Absolutely helped the team, especially given that Cooper Kupp was injured to start the year. Had Puka Nakua not been on this team, they are not a playoff team. I
No,
think
for
they would
sure.
have been they would have still won like 7 or 8 games, but they would not quite be where they are now.
No.
And Puka Nakua was the help he provided was immeasurable on this offense. Now, granted, also Stafford was dealing, and Sean McVay coached his ass off. This was a career year for both Stafford and McVay, I think. And if this team had more talent on it, this would be a Super Bowl contender. But just based, I'm getting a little off topic here, but I think ultimately I do think CJ Stroud will win the award, but I'm not even doing predictions at this point. I'm doing
Yeah,
who I'm
Stroud
giving the
will
award
win
to.
it, but in terms
But
of
who I
personal
think
take,
Puka Nakua should be given the award.
I think I still lean Stroud, but it's super
That's
close.
that's
It's very
fair, and for
close.
me, it's very close as well. Like I am not going to throw a hissy fit at all whatsoever when Stroud wins the
Hmm.
award. I really do think he will. I'm not going to say Puka was robbed. This is blasphemy. This is how dare you. No,
If
Stroud.
Stroud play, to me the only hang up is games played. Like Puka played, I think every game.
Stroud missed a couple with a concussion,
Yeah.
which see Stroud only played in 15 games this
Also
year, which
lost to the
might be,
Panthers.
but
Bad
led
luck.
yes, but led the league in yards per game and touchdown to interception ratio, and did that as a rookie.
Yeah. So
Um,
ultimately, I'm giving it to Stroud. I mean, his position is worth more. Won the division his rookie year.
and I agree. If this was like offensive rookie, or if this was like rookie MVP,
Hmm.
it's CJ Stroud, no question. But like, I don't want to just give it to Stroud because of positional
Yeah.
value. Because this is offense. This is offensive rookie of the year. We're just who's the best offensive rookie. I think you could seriously argue it's Puka Nakua. And Bijan Robinson, I think, is a not too distant third, and he would be in a much bigger conversation if Arthur Smith didn't hate him.
I mean, I think
Uh,
Gibbs had a better rookie year than
Oh,
Bijan.
well, okay. No, I guess Gibbs really came on towards the end of the season. I think Gibbs probably finishes hard. But again, if we were talking about Ben Johnson versus Arthur Smith here, Bijan Robinson and Ben Johnson, he'd probably be running away with the award right
Well,
now.
probably. Falcons would have
Or
made playoffs.
at the very least, he would be in a three-way conversation officially with Puka.
God, what I would do to
And
be in that three-way.
hmm, Lord have mercy. Um. So anyway, we're I think yeah. I feel like we've said a
We're
lot.
pretty much on the same spot, just so slightly
Yeah.
to different sides.
Now, defensive rookie of the year is another two-way race for the most part, really.
With the
It's-
Texans. You're not on that Will Anderson hype?
He's probably third for me. I feel like Will Anderson was fantastic.
I see
I just
him.
think Jalen Carter and Devin Witherspoon.
I
are
see
better.
him more than Witherspoon now. I mean, this isn't what I'm basing it off of, but I'm seeing him
Right.
a lot of like in more of like people's picks.
Yeah.
I see Will Anderson more than.
All right. Well, and to his credit, like Will Anderson started like the year with like the first half of the season, he only had like a sack and a half,
Mhm.
and now I think he finished the year with like 9. And it's not like he wasn't producing at all in the first. Like he was getting
Block
pressure.
punt, I think,
It's just-
right? Early on in the season.
I think so.
Or block
But
kick, one of the two.
He blocked something, but he was generating pressure from day one.
Yes.
It's just that pressure
Well,
wasn't
here.
being turned into sacks. But as the year went on, he started closing out.
Well,
more.
I don't actually care about whether it's Witherspoon or Will Anderson for a second, or who's in the two-man race. Because to me,
Jalen
it's been
Carter's
Jalen Carter all year. I'm just gonna stick
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, I still think Jalen Carter's my winner.
Also, because it's like,
and
was he the? I don't know if he was the best at his position, but it's like in conversation for the season.
very,
I don't think
arguably
Will
the best
Anderson and
interior
Witherspoon
defensive
are.
lineman. No, and especially, and they're doing it at a harder position to be. Jalen Carter's doing it at a harder position to be dominant at, because how many dominant interior? I've talked about it. I think multiple times this year. There are very few dominant interior
Few.
pass rushers in the NFL. There's less than 10.
For sure.
There's way more than 10 dominant edge rushers. There's at least 20 dominant edge.
There's a couple on the same
Uh,
teams. Like,
Yeah, you got some teams that have like 2 elite pass rushers on them. The Titans this year had 2 double-digit sack guys. The Titans of all teams.
I
Like,
think the pressure duo leaders were Parsons and Lawrence. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, that's helped because Parsons led individually
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah,
But, anyways, like
Yeah.
Jalen Carter. And I hate the Eagles.
yes. Jalen Carter's fantastic. I think he deserves it. Comeback Player of the Year. Now, who's
All right.
going to win it? I haven't heard any DeMar Hamlin noise in a while. I'm not convinced he will win it.
I am.
I feel like he probably still will.
I think the conversation, there's not a conversation because he came back from death.
Yes, he's literally came back
The
completely.
religion I follow is built upon one man doing that.
Yes.
I get it. He's not played much. I get it. Joe Flacco is helping a playoff team.
Yes.
Guys, DeMar Hamlin
Died.
died.
He
He
fucking
died.
died.
It's
I
about
mean,
the I guess some of it should be also how you perform, but he died. Like this
yeah,
is
there isn't a
he
more
came back
impressive
from
comeback
death.
than literally coming back from the
There
dead.
is
I'm
not
with
a
you there.
greater comeback than that.
I would still give him the award. However, I want to talk about Flacco just a little bit because
Well,
it's just
we get to talk about him in the playoffs.
yeah. I just want to mention what he's like. Who would have thunk it before the season started that the Cleveland Browns would sign Joe Flacco and he would just throw three
And the
touchdowns every week,
Ravens would be terrified.
and nobody would want to play him in the playoffs because everybody knows playoff Flacco has the most aura of any
Oh
quarterback to
my
ever
god.
play the
Just
fucking game. Oh my! And even in the regular season Flacco this year, that man has aura. That throw he
some
made
about
against
Flacco I just
that
missed.
throw he made against the Texans, it was 4th and 8 because their kicker had gotten injured. 4th and 8, they went for it. They were up 22-7, and he is getting collapsed by two guys, and he just with great
Pew.
velocity right to Amari Cooper, right past the DB, and it's like this is Joe Flacco. This is the guy who was averaging 5 yards per attempt in his final year as a starter. That's this Joe Flacco. Like
Joe
what in
Flacco with
the
no pressure.
world?
Like
Yeah, Joe
he
Flacco
had
with nothing to
on the
lose.
field pressure coming
Yeah,
at
but
him.
Joe Flacco with nothing to lose, he just walked in there and said, "Okay, I guess I'll sling this. Pass me that rock, nephew."
He's like, I got a ring. The
He's
city of
at that
Baltimore
age.
does love me.
He's at
They
that age
managed.
where
He's managed to still be loved by them while wearing a Browns uniform. You know how impressive that is. You know how
he's at that
impressive
age
that
where
is.
he don't give a fuck anymore. So, and you know what? I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. Um, shout out, Joe
Crazy.
Flacco. Um, so assistant coach of the year, I'm still giving it to Mike McDonald. I think that having that elite of a defense, um, yeah, phenomenal season for him. There's a few guys like, Ben Johnson, of course, was fantastic once again.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, Bobby Slowick, pretty damn good coordinator.
Hey,
Bobby Slowick.
I mean, I'll just give it to Bobby. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Doing that with a rookie, and I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
that kind of success so early on, it
Yeah.
takes a
It
lot of
takes
different
both. They,
factors.
they bounce off each other. I think
Uh-huh.
it's fair to say C.J. Stroud benefited from having as good of coordinator as Bobby Slowick. Bobby Slowick benefited from having as good of a quarterback as C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair. It goes both ways. It doesn't. The narrative does not have to be, oh, C.J. Stroud made Bobby Slowick. Oh, C.J. Stroud's a Bobby Slowick merchant. That's all he's.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's good.
Well, we'll see what happens next year when if Bobby Slovic is gone. One bad week, you know that's coming.
They have Jared Johnson there as the quarterback's coach, and I believe he could be a good offensive coordinator because I think as soon as Slowick's gone, I feel like he's getting promoted. I think that's chalk because he's done a great job with C.J. Stroud as well. I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think that if they were to give offensive rookie of the year to Nakua, then Slovic would have to. I think one has to get the award, their award.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna say Mike McDonald, just regardless, because he, like I said, if I wasn't worried about offensive consistency for my young quarterback who is still developing, I would say bring me Mike McDonald pretty easily because that man is incredible. But just give me Bobby Slowick, man. I'll be so happy.
Give me some Slovic.
Yeah.
But forget the assistant. Let's get to the big hoss. The man who wears the crown, coach of the year. To me, I got Kevin Stefanski. I'm like, fuck it. 4 different quarterbacks making the playoffs, being a huge threat.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Especially if they win a game or two. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, give me Kevin Stefanski as well. I think someone like Sean McDermott, I think, the way he rallied the troops after a really weird start to the season.
Do you know who's brave? Al-Qaeda.
The Taliban. Yeah.
Him. D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans is probably my second pick because he won the division in his first year as a head coach after the team had the second overall pick
Yeah, and
the
was
previous year.
considered a dumpster fire no one wanted to go to.
Yeah, that's. I'd argue at least at that point they had more ammo for like, okay, now we're attractive as a destination because we have all the Watson draft picks, but prior to that,
Well, there
prior
was
to
just
the
some like
training,
stories behind the scenes of what was going on in the building
yeah,
that is the reason I thought it was a dumpster fire. But
yeah,
shout out to him.
yeah. Nick Casario's done a good job as the GM, and D'Amico Ryan's fantastic first year as a head coach. And ultimately, I believe in D'Amico long term.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he's done a good enough job picking his coaching staff in year one that I'm confident he can continue to find good offensive coordinators. Um, just like Kyle Shanahan finds Jesus at defensive coordinator every 3 years. I think hopefully D'Amico can do the same. As well, hopefully he doesn't have as good of luck as a Titans fan, but as a
Right.
football fan, I believe in D'Amico. I think long term he's going to continue finding success in his coaching staff. But yeah, probably my second pick for coach of the year. But I'm with you on Kevin Stefanski. I
Yeah.
think the turnaround, the injuries general, like
It
yeah,
also
four
helps that the
quarterbacks,
impressive.
Nick Chubb, the
Yeah.
kicker, like injured just about every which way on the roster, and
And
they.
it's because it's the impressive side of it is like on his side of the ball
Mhm.
of what they're able to like work with offensively and
Offensively,
still win. And I get that what's carrying the team is the defensive side of the ball, but like why this is impressive is
yeah.
because of what they're having
Well,
to do on
and
offense,
the offense is good.
especially with
It's
Flacco.
it's good. It's not incredible, but
Mm.
it's good. And you're taking a team with Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford and Joe Flacco, and they're averaging like in that span like 25 points a game or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
So
Give me a break. I mean, this is easy to me. And he had the wherewithal to go get Jim Schwartz from the Titans coaching staff, who was just a quality control like senior assistant or whatever. He said, "Come be my defensive coordinator." That was a hire he chose to make in the offseason, and obviously it paid off because Jim Schwartz has been fantastic. So
yeah.
you got to give him credit for that too. He recognized a need in his defense. He recognized the previous coordinator was underperforming, underutilizing the talent that they had, because Cleveland always had talent on defense.
Mm-hmm.
It was just never performing to the standard it was supposed to. So he said, "Okay, get out, Jim Schwartz, come coach my defense." Perfect,
Mm-hmm.
perfect decision, slam dunk of a decision.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think
But
I think
let's get to the award everyone really wants to hear about. Walter Payton Man of the Year. Who you got?
whoever the Titans nominee is. I don't know. I don't care.
I'm trying to think who I'm trying to remember who the Cowboys nominee is.
I don't like. This isn't really a award most fans would going to be plugged into, because it's like, how often do you hear about this player from this team is helping out with this charity organization, and this guy. It's like this isn't
Is
shit we hear
outside
about
of
those.
the J.J. Watt, Walter Payton Man of the Year. It's like,
That was an obvious one.
yeah, it's like how else?
The Hurricane Harvey funds and whatnot.
I mean, I
after he
knew
got
Dak
injured.
would eventually get one
Yeah.
because I've heard enough about his
Mhm.
his work with all mental health foundations and stuff like that due to what he's gone through. So I knew he'd get one eventually. But like outside of that, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, like the J.J. Watt one was obvious, but there's been very few obvious award winners
Yeah.
for Walter Payton Man of the Year. So whomever gets it, I'm sure they probably deserve it.
Yeah.
So, shout out.
Shout out to
you,
them.
I guess that's
Other are we missing any awards?
No, we
No.
went through all of them.
So so playoff time?
Oh, brother.
All right.
It sure
Before
is.
we do that, I actually have something. This is where this comes up.
This is the
You ready?
fun thing you're telling me. I'm ready.
So I listened back to each of our quarterly predictions, and I wrote down all of our predictions through the years. All of our fully formulated ideas here. All of our seedings that we had throughout the years.
All right.
And we're going to see
Go ahead.
how good we were through the year.
How did we do?
Starting off with our preseason predictions.
Oh, okay. I don't. This is gonna be a tough one for me.
How do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do like each of ours totally, or go like NFC, AFC, AFC?
Just do each of ours totally.
Okay.
In fact, like do each of ours completely throughout the season, then do the next person's. I think it makes sense continuity wise, because it's gonna get too convoluted if we bounce back and forth.
Well, I think
So,
we should. I think I could go by each quarterly check-in, each of ours,
if
just
you want
so
to, yeah,
we can have an idea of maybe who was closer at each point.
yeah.
I'll tell you right now, there is a perfect 7. A perfect conference was picked by one of us at one point. I
I think
won't.
that was my NFC in the last quarter. I'm pretty sure.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'll
I'm
tell you
pretty
right now.
sure my.
That's not it.
Oh shit.
I
Well.
think you had. I think you had Atlanta
Oh, son
at
of a
during that
bitch.
one. It
It
was
would have
not
been
that one.
perfect if it wasn't Atlanta.
All right,
But
our
whatever.
preseason predictions. I'll start with myself. For the NFC, my 1 seed was the Niners.
Hmm.
My 2 seed was the Cowboys.
Okay.
My 3 seed was the Lions.
Hmm.
My 4 seed was the Saints.
I do remember this.
Miss, but that's not one I feel bad about. My 5th seed was the Eagles.
Yep.
Hit. This might be my worst prediction here. I remember picking this, and
This is. Uh-oh.
my 6th seed
Uh-huh.
was the New York Giants.
I do remember you were high on the Giants still coming into the
Uh,
season.
I
Do
just
recall.
I thought it was Dayball. Dayball I was really high on, but
I'm still high on Dayball. I don't feel any worse about Dayball.
I
after
don't
this season
neither do I.
now than
But it's just like damn,
it's just a tough season.
I overvalued what a coach could do with that team.
Number 7.
7 Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
They were in it up until the end. Like that's ultimately that's not a bad prediction.
I have
for the
4.
Cowboys.
The 4 teams I have right are also in the correct seed.
Seed. That's a big thing too.
So, okay, here's the AFC.
Oh brother.
You already
These
know
aren't gonna look good for either of us, I don't think.
number 1
Maybe
seed,
Cincinnati Bengals.
the Bengals. Obviously, that's who I would have
Not a
had.
hit. Not a
No,
hit.
no. From now on going forward, when I make my prediction for the Bengals, I'm not even gonna look at it. I'm just gonna put them down for 0-3 and then move on after that.
Yeah.
Because even I don't know.
Pencil it in.
2 seed, the Chiefs.
A hit, but they were near the 3. But
Yeah.
I mean, they hit overall.
Right
Yeah.
division winner.
Well, yeah.
3
That was an
seed,
obvious
the
one.
Bills.
Hit to a degree.
If
I
swap
mean,
those two, and that's right on.
they are. Oh yeah, the Bills are the 2 seed, aren't they?
Yeah,
That's so weird.
That is
how turned
wild.
out. So it was like they could miss the playoffs.
my
The 2
4 seed was the Jags.
Almost. It would have been correct if they had just stood on business against the Titans.
5th seeded Ravens. So I knew the Ravens would be good because
Yes.
we've talked about the AFC North plenty about how we felt about it going in.
Yeah.
6th seeded Jets.
Mhm.
I honestly, with Aaron Rodgers' injury, I'm gonna take that as a mulligan.
I don't think they would have made it, honestly.
You know what, that man can do magic. I'll be
Fair
honest.
enough, but fair enough. I get it.
7 seed. This one's a
That doesn't
dumb
really
one.
count.
This one's a dumb one. Chargers.
I had faith in Brendan Staley, man.
It wasn't Staley.
Yeah.
It was everything else. Because even though I've bashed Herbert plenty, and I think it's all been rightfully so, he's still a really good quarterback.
Oh, very good.
And he's like
yeah.
so good where it's like, does this guy really miss playoffs even with a bad coach? I'll give him the 7th seed. My bad. You want to know my super? I also included all of our Super Bowl predictions for the
You
check-ins.
had Dallas versus
I had
Cincinnati.
the Bengals over the Cowboys.
Yes.
We'll see about one of those teams.
We'll see.
All right, your NFC predictions.
Yes.
Your 1 seed was the Niners.
That was an obvious one, I feel, given from the start.
I mean, even I had that. So
Yeah.
yeah. Your 2 seed was the Eagles.
Tragic that I picked the NFC East to have a repeat division winner. I should have known better. That they're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's on me.
3 seeded Lions.
Your boy.
4 seeded Falcons.
Almost happened.
Close. I
I
think
mean, you were technically closer.
yeah,
than
I was about to say
the
technically the
Saints won that
Saints
game.
were yeah.
Yeah, you were closer than I was on that. But
But that
they were
division
in it
outside of
until
the
end,
Panthers was
so
technically close all
they
year.
were all in it until the end. So I'm gonna call that.
Anyway,
fine. Like, I don't feel bad about that.
No,
one,
you shouldn't.
know.
5th seeded Cowboys.
Yeah,
6th
I don't feel
seeded
bad about that one
6th seeded Seahawks,
either. Mhm.
and then the 7th seeded Chicago Bears.
I think I was like really, really heavily considering Bears, Packers, and Vikings for that spot, and I don't remember.
Were you just
how
believing
I
in
had
Fields?
settled on Bears. I figured with the developments he made in his second year that he would progress a little more, and he didn't. And I've been very honest about my thoughts on
Mhm.
Justin Fields. And that's probably my worst pick of the NFC. I would say is the Chicago poll because I feel like I should have known better than to trust Matt Eberflus and Justin Fields. But I also didn't think there'd be much of a dogfight for that last pick for that last seed,
Okay.
which there hasn't been the last couple of
So
years.
here's your AFC. And I think we must have done 2 videos because I think I got this from the playoff predictions video, and we had a separate division winners, like division lookout video, I
I
think.
had it a little different
Because you switched something.
I switched Bengals and Ravens. I think.
Yeah,
At some point.
I just
don't
wanted
know.
to, yeah. So your 1 seed was the Chiefs.
Yeah, not my proudest, but I thought they'd be fine.
Your 2 seed was the Bills.
That's a hit.
Your 3 seed was the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, that's my biggest miss of the entire season was.
But you're a fan, so it's like,
so,
all right.
Yeah, that one a little more justifiable.
Yeah. Your 4 seed was the Steelers.
I don't feel too bad about this one because they did make it. So
They made the playoffs, but honestly,
there was a time where I didn't feel great. Again, remember I said like for me, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh, I love all 3 of them.
Mhm.
And honestly, I think you and I were both too low in Cleveland coming into.
yeah. Well,
I
obviously we both were.
I wasn't a big Deshaun Watson or Kevin Stefanski. In fact, if Watson had started the whole year, I'm not sure they would have won quite as many games as they did, and I have no problem saying that. Because I truly believe the team operates better with Flacco.
I still don't like the Steelers. I still don't. I don't know. Picking them.
They're Buffalo's winning by 30.
Yeah. But anyways,
spoiler alert for our predictions. Yeah,
if your
that's how
the
I
5th
feel.
seed was the Bengals, the 6th seed was the Ravens.
And I think I swapped that at some point.
I
Maybe
think
I
you.
had Ravens at first, and then you were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Okay, fine."
Well, but the what the fuck was just because of how big of a Bengals.
Well, and also I told you those 2 were interchangeable for
Yeah.
me as far as like ultimately I was high on Baltimore. I couldn't commit to them.
Do you want to know who your 7th seed was?
Excuse me. It wasn't the Chargers, was it? There's
It
no
was the
way.
Chargers.
Motherfucker! How? Why did I do that?
And do you know what your Super Bowl was?
I know I had San Francisco in there.
You had the Bengals over the Niners.
Oh, okay.
We both had the
Yes.
Bengals winning.
Well, you never know what would have happened if Joe Burrow.
That's what I'm saying. All right. All right.
Take a page out of your playbook there. We don't know.
Quarterly predictions. I had Cowboys at 1, Lions at 2, Niners at 3, Bucks at 4, Rams at 5, Eagles at 6, and then the Seahawks at 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the top 6 seeds, but just jumbled up.
Yes.
And then the Seahawks.
Yes.
My AFC was Chiefs at 1 still, Ravens at 2. I very quickly, very quickly hopped on the Ravens train.
Yeah.
Dolphins at 3.
Yeah.
Colts at 4. Bills at 5. Jets at 6. And then the Texans at 7.
Hey, yeah, the Houston pool there is pretty good.
I mean, them being there at all, yeah.
Yeah.
But my Super Bowl was Cowboys over Bills. So I went from
this battle of 2 seeds right now.
yeah, it's on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yours, you had the Niners at 1,
Mm-hmm.
the Cowboys at 2, Detroit at 3,
Was this the perfect one?
Bucks at 4, the Eagles at 5, the Rams at 6,
6.
and then the Packers at 7. This was the perfect 7. Your the first quarter prediction, your
For the
NFC was
I had
perfect.
it perfect. The seeds and everything, a perfect.
Perfect 7. It's coming.
Did you hear that?
Yep, we could hear
That
it.
was loud.
We heard the thundering.
That was loud. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It's coming. Let's see. Your AFC. Buffalo at 1. Chiefs at 2. Ravens at 3. Colts at 4.
Oh shit! There's a tornado. I don't see it outside. I'm just saying there is one.
It's like, oh, look at that! There's a tornado
I,
outside my window.
what do you call it? My girlfriend's texting me right now. She said this. She called me a second ago. I told her we were recording, and she said, "I know you're not paying attention to the news, but please be safe. There's a tornado touchdown right now." So I guess one's already been like confirmed. There is one out there. So,
welcome to the most dangerous podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, well, no, my window is right fucking there.
Yeah,
that's my
concern.
Yeah. If I feel like it gets really bad, we may have to cut and then start again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I would hope so.
We'll just. Are you good to keep going right now?
Yeah, we're good for now. I'm just like, if I see it start to get bad out there, I will let you know.
All right. Do you want me to go over your AFC again?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. The 1 seed, you had Buffalo.
Okay, I don't feel bad about that one. I mean, they had a weird midseason thing.
Yeah. Your 2 seed was Chiefs.
Yeah.
Your 3 seed was Ravens.
Yeah. I feel like once after the first quarter of the season, I was pretty Baltimore all the way, like through and through.
I mean, I guess I was higher on them than you were.
I mean, like from feeling they'd be the division winner. I didn't crack on that.
Yeah, I mean, we both pretty much as soon as the season started, we're like, oh, that looks different than the other teams.
Never mind.
Yeah. Colts at 4.
I don't feel bad about that one. It almost happened.
It final game. That's what it came down to.
If Gardner Minshew throws a better ball, who knows? That might just be what would happen.
Miami at 5.
Are they the 5 or the 6? They're the 6 because Cleveland's playing.
Yeah, Cleveland's probably the 5. Yeah.
So Miami's the 6. Wow, what a crazy turn of events for the AFC.
Yeah, but your 6 seed pick was the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Didn't quite jump off yet.
I think hopefully by this next one they stop appearing.
Your 7 seed was also the Texans.
I think I want to say I still had Houston over Jacksonville at this point.
Yeah. Yep. And then I'm trying to think. I think I mean Anthony Richardson is still healthy at this point, or healthy. He was playing.
He'd been up and down, but yeah, it wasn't until I think the following week that he got.
Yeah, hurt. It was like immediately went fuck. Okay.
It was the week after that. Yeah.
Yeah, and your Super Bowl was the Niners over the Bills.
I don't feel terrible about that one.
No, that's still on the table.
Could happen.
Let's see. Halfway predictions. Mine went NFC. Lions at 1, Eagles at 2. This must have been this was post Niners game where
keep my blinds open so we get a better look of what's going on out here. Yeah.
Eagles at 2, so this was post Niners game. But somehow this is my worst one. This is my worst prediction yet.
Yeah.
I had Lions at 1, Eagles at 2, Seattle at 3. This was when Seattle was leading the division. I think they might have been up 1 game.
Because this was right after San Francisco lost 3 games
straight
in a row.
That's what this was.
And then I told you, like, no, I'm not losing faith.
But I hate the Niners, so I'm going to, as soon as I get a chance to, I'm going to bash them.
It's an age-old rivalry.
Yeah. And then I had Saints at 4, Cowboys at 5, Niners at 6, Bucks at 7. Pretty bad.
Two NFC South playoff teams at any given point during the season is crazy.
No, because it's like, hey, we get to play the Panthers and we get to play the Falcons and we get to play each other.
Competitive the whole year.
No, yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. I think I probably Bijan had a stinker in fantasy, and I was like, man, fuck Arthur Smith.
Like, fuck this guy, man.
God, I fucking hate Arthur Smith. But my AFC. This must have been when. Right, this must be right before Burrow got hurt. I got Chiefs at 1, Bengals at 2,
yeah,
Dolphins at 3, Jags at 4, Ravens at 5, Bills at 6, Texans at 7. And then my Super Bowl, this was the Big Cat Super Bowl. It was Bengals over Lions.
Well, that one's mathematically impossible.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I see Burrow step on a field, I'm gonna always give him a chance.
Yeah.
And this was when it was like, oh, they just started to play good, and then I think the Ravens had like 2 losses that like they shot themselves in the foot.
The Ravens early on in the season had a couple games where it's like, man, if you just clean this shit up,
Yeah.
like, we'd be perfect right now.
Your picks halfway. NFC. Eagles at 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a miss. That's a miss.
Lions
My
at 2.
God.
Niners at 3. Saints at 4. Cowboys at 5. Seattle at 6. And then the Vikings at 7.
Yeah, not a great week for either of us.
At one point, because I was having to listen to some of the pod. I remember at one point we disagreed on Minnesota. I don't know if it was this one or the next one. It must have been this one because I did not care about their winning streak. Them and the Broncos, neither of them. I was like, I don't buy into this at all.
Yeah.
Your AFC. Ravens at 1. Chiefs at 2. Jaguars at 3. Dolphins at 4. Bengals at 5. Bills at 6. And Texans at 7.
I don't feel terrible.
No, I don't think you should. I mean, the Jags won at 3. Is about the only. Bengals, this is before the Burrow injury, obviously, so I think you're also fair there.
Also, the Jags were the 1 seed for 3 hours at one point in the season.
But did you buy that?
No, hell no, never. Never. They never looked like that good of a team.
Your Super Bowl was Ravens over Lions. Still on the table.
On the table, but I don't believe in Detroit enough for that to be the case.
Neither do I. But we'll get into our actual predictions later.
There are better. Yeah.
All right. 3-quarter predictions. This is right before. This is supposed to be right before Dallas goes and loses to the Bills and the Dolphins. So my 3-quarter predictions: NFC, Dallas at 1, Niners at 2, Lions at 3, Atlanta at 4, Eagles.
You hopped on the wagon.
Bijan had a good fantasy game, probably right when this was recorded. Eagles at 5, Packers at 6, and Seattle at 7.
Somebody's driving right now? Are you fucking insane?
They're probably driving home like fuck.
No, I'm at my apartment complex. What are you?
Somebody's leaving?
They were home already. They're leaving.
Somebody left their dogs out. They're over there for a booty call, and then they're like, fuck.
I can't stay at this bitch's house. She's crazy. Yeah, I gotta go.
This bitch or a natural disaster? Give me the disaster.
Sorry, continue.
My AFC was Ravens at 1, Chiefs at 2, Bills at 3, Texans at 4.
Big read.
Big
read.
Browns at 5. I finally hopped on.
Another big read. That is the matchup.
Bengals at 6. I know what this was. If they had just beaten the Steelers, I think I picked their games right, but they lost to the Steelers. Because I think I had them losing to the Chiefs still with Browning, but I had them beating the Steelers, but they lost that one.
Do you have Dolphins at 7?
No.
You had them missing.
I had the Jags at 7. Whoa, I didn't even peep
Dolphins
that.
Complete late season collapse.
Yeah, I mean this was I don't think it's embarrassing. This was when they had only beat. I mean this is still kind of the case for them, but I mean.
Hey Bowie.
I don't even hate it.
No.
But then I had
read on Houston.
Yeah, I had Cowboys over Ravens.
Still
on the table.
No, y'all ain't beating the Ravens, but on the table.
All right, here we go. Here's yours. NFC. Niners at 1. Mm-hmm. Cowboys at 2. Mm-hmm. Detroit at 3. Mm-hmm. Atlanta at 4.
Tragic.
Then Eagles at 5. Rams at 6. Mm-hmm. Packers at 7.
Yep. So almost identical to my first quarter predictions, and I was just really happy, honestly, to see Green Bay and
the Rams back.
The Rams back in there because I was really.
If you had just picked Bucks,
yeah, I would have had 2 perfect picks.
2 perfects. All right, your AFC was Ravens at 1. Miami at 2. Chiefs at 3. Jacksonville at 4. Texans at 5, Browns at 6, and Broncos at 7.
Yeah, that Denver poll was not the best.
Yeah. And then your Super Bowl was Ravens over Niners.
I still feel like that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It took us a while to get there, but I think that's it.
But yeah, that's how we felt throughout the year, guys. And now We're going to tell you how we feel actually going into the playoffs.
Well, I already spoiled my Super Bowl prediction, but let's see how we get there.
Yeah. So let's see. Let me pull them up. I know I had it pulled up already.
Let me pull it up as well.
So the AFC wildcard games are the Browns at the Texans, the Dolphins at the Chiefs, the Steelers at the Bills. The NFC wildcard games are the Eagles at the Bucks, the Rams at the Lions, and then the Packers at the Cowboys.
Yep.
I've already picked the games.
Mentally I've picked them. I haven't.
So I know how this plays out.
Yet,
Do you want to talk about each one individually, or what do you want to do here?
Let's each do our let's go one game at a time for this weekend's schedule.
Yeah. So we can start with Browns at Texans.
Yes, that is Saturday at 4:30 Eastern. Do you want to go first? Or want me to go first? I have a winner here.
Do you know what we should count down 1, 2, 3, say it at the same time, and if we have the same one, we can quickly go over it, and then maybe just peruse on to the ones maybe we have differences. All right, you ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1. Browns.
Okay.
Okay. We're all right.
Some of this is because I just want the Texans to lose. One, I don't like the Texans. Two, I want to interview Bobby Slowick as soon as possible for the Titans vacancy. So
for me,
please lose this game.
It's the experience of Joe Flacco.
I want to see playoff Flacco, man. I believe.
I think Myles Garrett eats, possibly.
Potentially.
And then also, narrative-wise, I just want this more.
Yeah, I want playoff Flacco, man. I want them to make it to the AFC Championship.
I would love for them to play the Ravens.
I could see them playing Baltimore in round 2, or
but
in the AFC Championship, whatever the case may be. Like, I want it to happen.
Do you want to just move on since we kind of agree?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on.
We could do Dolphins at Chiefs.
As much as I don't believe in them, I think this is Kansas City's. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Okay. Well, we disagree because I have Dolphins.
Okay. Interesting.
I think
Kansas City did win the regular season matchup.
They did. And I know that one was in Germany, and this one's going to be in Arrowhead. But just I don't know, man. Just give me Tyreek Hill in a playoff game against the Chiefs, breaking some kind of record for a single game performance.
Now, are we predicting the full playoff run, or are we just doing this week's game? Because we could do this every single week.
I think we're going to talk about them every single week, regardless. But
sure.
I think we should do the full run going in.
All right, our full run.
But
prediction.
like next week, maybe we don't do like the full run.
No. Next week we just go like
what the games are now.
We review the games that happen, then we predict the next.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So you've got Miami.
Yes, I've got Tyreek Hill, honestly taking over.
Revenge tour.
And I don't know, man. Just Kansas City all year has just felt iffy.
Well, so is Miami.
I know that is correct, but like I don't know. I just got Tyreek Hill taking over.
Okay, I get it. I mean, that's a good narrative pick.
I think he breaks a record too. I just don't know. I don't want to pick it, but like a major record, like whether it be receptions, receiving yards, or touchdowns, or something and a half, just like a major enough one, not like second yard catches going for 10+ yards, like second down.
No ESPN stats.
Yeah, but like whether it be the whole game or the half, just
most receptions on 2nd and 17 in a wild card game since 2008.
Yeah,
like
or it's like since the stat something where it's like something since the stat has been tracked since 2016. It's like, well, this is it's not a big sample size comparison. Comparison to other stats.
I've got Kansas City. I do think they get a repeat of what happened earlier in the season. I don't feel great about them necessarily.
I think the Chiefs.
A week of rest.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs should win, but this is just me.
Had some time to game plan already for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah,
Kansas City. We'll talk about what they'll do later in the playoffs, but I think they'll win.
For me, what this was just me, like, wanting to call a couple shots just because crazy things happen in the playoffs. There's always upsets. I just wanted to, throw a shot out there.
Yeah.
But then we have Steelers at Bills. I don't even think we need to count down for this one.
3-2-1 Bills by 30.
Yeah, Bills,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't even think Josh Allen is just so much better than the collective of the Steelers.
I think it's Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph was in the playoff graphic that the Steelers posted, so it's got to be Mason Rudolph.
Ride the hot hand,
Yeah, for sure,
dude. And if Mason Rudolph beats the Bills, build him a statue just for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, let's just move on because that one's the easiest pick. I think that one's the easiest pick in all of playoffs. And then we have Eagles. I'm going off this website.
We do not. No, sir. We do. We have Packers Cowboys.
Are you going off the times? I'm just going off the Pick'em website. So
going off the order. The order with the chronological order which these games are being played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't pick up the Pick'em web. You didn't go to the website so we can then pick the next games.
Oh, I forgot Pick'ems are still available. I thought that was done at the end of the regular season.
Well, this is just like the playoff predictors website that.
Oh.
But anyway, we can do whichever one you want. Which one do we have?
I was just doing I was just looking at the. I was looking at just the NFL scores.
So is all of AFC on one day and all of NFC the other?
All of the no, because Monday is the last NFC game. There's and then we've got Saturday 2 AFC games, Sunday 1 AFC game, 2 NFC games, Monday 1 NFC game.
Okay, but which one are we doing next then?
We're doing Packers Cowboys is Sunday at 4:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we counting down on this one? We count down. 3, 2, 1. Cowboys.
Cowboys, but man, I'd love to see an upset here. Not because I want you to be sad, but I'd love to see the Packers team.
I wouldn't.
Cowboys
by 21 points.
I don't believe in Joe Barry's defense. I do believe in Dan Quinn's defense, and that's really the difference for me here.
Yeah.
So, Cowboys over Packers. I feel
pretty
like
easily. Give me.
It's gonna be closer than you think.
I don't think so. Obviously. What do you think? What do you think the difference is? Do you think it's a 3-point game?
I could see it being like a 7 to 10 point game, maybe even a 5-point game. I don't think it's gonna be some crazy disparity. I don't think it's gonna be.
I think the lowest I would imagine is a 14-point difference.
You're being serious.
I mean, that's serious. We don't boys like we got this one.
The Cowboys in the playoffs, man. I don't know.
This is a Mike McCarthy revenge game.
This is a Jordan Love fuck you game.
No, it's not. This is a Micah Parsons. I've been tired of getting held all year. Fuck you game.
Oh well, he's gonna have to face Zach Tom. He's gonna get held again. It is what it is.
What's next?
Rams and Lions.
All right. 3.
Rams at the Lions.
Ready? 3.
Yeah, I'm ready.
2, 1. Rams.
Rams.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. We're locked in.
Brother.
It sucks. It sucks.
Yes, sir. All right. I hate picking against the Lions this early in the playoffs. They finally made it back. Yeah, it's too damn bad. Sean McVay is going to coach his ass off. I don't believe in the Jared Goff revenge game. I think, in fact, he's going to throw multiple interceptions in this game.
I think he throws 1.
I think he throws 2, and I think the second one is a game-losing interception. I think
to Aaron Donald.
21-17.
Oh, we got a score call out. Oh, somebody's feeling big bold.
I have the vibe on this.
Yeah, I think we have the same vibe pickup.
21-17 with a game-losing interception by Jared Goff.
That would be fitting. Rams fans would go, see, we made the right decision. If the Super Bowl wasn't enough proof. But yeah. Do you want to just skip on to the final one then, since we agree?
I think. Yeah, in fact, I don't think we have to spend too much time on this next one either.
Eagles at Bucks. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bucks.
Bucks.
I know I just swapped the 3-2-1, but my bad. But
oh, you're good. The Eagles fucking suck.
They do. AJ Brown held a players-only meeting, I think.
Yeah.
Got to believe in the coaches.
I don't think they do at this point of the season. I don't think they believe in Sean Desai.
Coach is right, guys. If we want to win, it's on us.
Yeah. I don't think they particularly like the coaching staff. I don't think the players buy in. I think the dissent growing there is going to make a difference, and I think it's over.
Baker Mayfield with a playoff win.
Hey, extend him. Well,
I genuinely, yeah, probably.
he's played well enough. I'd give him another year.
If he wins the division and a playoff game,
yeah,
fuck it.
He wins 2 playoff games. Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's not
He's
get
not going to. I don't think so.
So do you But now that we have, because we have a couple differences, ours is different.
It's got to be a little different, yeah.
Did you? Because if you just go to it, it'll like have it set up for you because the seedings get weird. I think if you.
I don't have like a pick'ems thing. Hang on. What website is this?
Next.playoffpredictors.com. If you want, I can just go through my AFC side.
Yeah, you do that while I.
Okay. So mine results in the 5th seeded Browns going to Buffalo, and then the 6th seeded Dolphins going to the Ravens. I had 2 wild card upsets in the AFC, but unfortunately the kind of fun rides stop here as I have both bigger seeds like winning. I've got the 2 seed Bills beating the Browns, and then I got the 1 seeded Ravens beating the Dolphins.
Okay.
It's just I mean the 2 best quarterbacks in the league this year, possibly. I mean, I know Josh Allen had some really stinkers, but he's also Josh Allen.
Well, by default, my bracket's better than yours because I've got Joe Flacco playing the Ravens.
Yeah, so I know. You got the storyline that I wanted, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got for the AFC.
I have the same victors as you, so we don't have to spend a whole lot of time here. I think Baltimore beats Cleveland, and I think Buffalo beats Kansas City. And I think we do get a Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson 2018 first-round pick quarterback playoff matchup. And
we deserve it.
That's going to be cinema. We deserve this game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fantastic. Give me your NFC.
I think we have the same, right? I think we picked the same ones here.
We can do this, actually.
So we have Bucks at Cowboys and then Rams at Niners.
All right. Cowboys and Bucks, or do you want to do Rams and Niners?
We'll do Cowboys Bucks first.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, good for the Bucks, but Cowboys at home?
Yeah.
That's a different animal. At home, different animal.
Stand on business.
Are you ready for Rams Niners?
Oh boy. Don't you do it.
Ready? 3,
2,
1.
Niners.
Rams.
Brother.
Give me. You do all right.
You just don't want to play them. You just don't want to play them.
First of all, I would love to play them and beat them. That's my biggest hope. That would feel so good. But rest versus rust, right? In terms of resting your players as well as getting the bye week. I don't think Brock Purdy is a veteran enough player to benefit from the rest. And he's more likely to get some of the rust.
Okay.
So I think Stafford and that Rams team have been in playoff mode for a couple weeks already.
Okay.
And they're able to Purdy maybe starts off not as good. We get that 3-week stretch Purdy, maybe not for the whole game, but the 3-week stretch with their own 3 stretch is what I'm referring to. But I got the rust. 2 weeks off for Purdy coming in and biting them in the ass, and I got the Rams winning.
I can live with that. Actually, I understand.
Yeah. But yeah, and then obviously I could see why you have the Niners because they are the better team.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know. I mean,
my issue here is the Rams' talent deficiency.
There is.
It's a matter of I don't know that they have the horses to make this kind of run. I could see them upsetting Detroit, and I think they will upset Detroit. But I think San Francisco is just a much better roster, and in terms of coaching, it's about the same. I don't think there's much of a difference between Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Shanahan really has McVay's number for the most part, outside of of course, what happened last week, which Shanahan rested his starters, and there was the playoff game a few years ago when the Rams went to the Super Bowl. So
when it mattered most.
Yes, I understand that, but beyond that, I feel like this is a 40.
I think.
I understand your reasoning.
The reasoning is there for the Niners side of being just Purdy being a little off his game because of how much he's rested, and then like I said, Rams being in playoff mode, but also they have the high-end talent that can take over a game if needed. I think Stafford is that level quarterback when he wants to be. If Kupp is healthy, fully healthy, ready to go, with Puka Nacua, you throw in Aaron Donald, who is getting older, but for one game, can he get enough to just go ham? Plus, with the Niners O-line, the strength of it is Trent Williams, and then that's kind of it. So Aaron Donald's going to be attacking not Trent Williams. I think that they can wreck enough for them to get the win.
Fair enough. All right, so Ravens and Bills, who you got?
Let me click.
We can count down for this one.
All right, this is the same. 1, 2, 3. Ravens.
Okay.
We're on agreement. I mean, we're both just
This is going to be a cinematic experience of a football game.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
You're going to see crazy. I think you see crazy runs like from both quarterbacks.
Crazy throws from both quarterbacks. You're
yeah.
going to see a whole lot of bullshit pulled out of their ass.
Yeah,
you're gonna
be like, this play is dead. This play is dead. What the fuck did that quarterback just do? That's what you're gonna see.
20-plus yard Keaton Mitchell run. You're gonna see a 20-plus yard run after catch from James Cook. I think this is gonna be fun.
It's gonna be
fun.
That. This might be the best playoff game. The entire.
Assuming it does happen, this might be the most entertaining.
Yeah. But NFC sides were different.
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you San Francisco over Dallas. Now go ahead and tell me why you think Dallas is gonna beat the Rams.
Well, eventually their insanity run has to come to an end.
Yeah, against Dallas, not against the 49ers.
Yes, yeah. Dallas at home.
Yeah.
Different animal.
Yeah, fair enough.
Plus, like the difference of the Niners' offensive line, where I said Trent Williams is really good, but Aaron Donald could wreck the rest. Mm-hmm. The Niners don't have like a Zach Martin or a Tyler Smith, who have been some of the best at their positions this year. That are much better equipped to handle an Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's that side. Our defense as a whole is just very well suited to just play anyone. Mm-hmm. Micah Parsons.
Yeah, good defense.
And then on the offensive side, CeeDee Lamb has been the second best wide receiver in football this year besides Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, certainly.
Dak's had his best season of his career, and like I said, we're at home.
Yep.
That's what I got. Plus, going back a little bit, people talk about the Cowboys disappointing in the playoffs. The Niners find a way to disappoint as well.
Okay, I mean, that's not unrealistic.
Like, what's the knock on Kyle Shanahan right now?
No ring. Ringless.
You know who does have a ring?
Honestly,
Mike McCarthy.
Kyle Shanahan might be the best coach ever to have not won a Super Bowl yet.
Now that Andy Reid's got his, got his too. Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan is probably the best coach to have never won a ring. He's like the Dan Marino right now of head coaches. Like, every like, it's very easy to see that he's awesome, but at the same time, it's like, okay, put it all together then. Like, let's go, let's get it done. And really, he hasn't had the quarterback play a lot of these other guys have benefited from. But also, whose fault is that? At some point, like, go ahead and get yourself an elite quarterback and not just a game manager.
I mean, I feel like that's more on the GM.
Yeah, but I mean, it's could have developed Trey Lance better.
Yeah. But if it's true that he didn't even want Trey Lance, it gets harder to fault him.
Yeah.
But Super Bowl time.
Ravens over Niners for me. Give me Baltimore in the rematch, and give me that Ravens Super Bowl that I've been thinking we're gonna get for a while now.
Oh, Lamar hosting the Lombardi.
Oh my God!
Super Bowl MVP.
He gets to hold up his end of the bargain that he made when he got drafted almost 6 years ago. He said they're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe
he
that.
did. And in your pick, he's doing that.
Get a Super Bowl out of me. Whatever.
Do you know who could stop that?
Micah Parsons.
That is the exact name I was going to say.
Deron Bland, DeMarcus Lawrence, a couple other guys.
Correct. Yeah. Micah Parsons is a level of athlete that could, do his best defensively on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I think I picked, when I did this, because I had this exact same scenario before. I think I said Micah Parsons would win Super Bowl MVP. And if the Cowboys were to beat the Ravens, that's what it would take.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And
elite defensive performance from somebody, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what with some of those Ravens hands. I mean, I know that Zay Flowers is pretty good, but there's been drops this year,
From all of them.
all of them. And if you tip up a ball against the Cowboys defense,
Yeah, I guess they do.
we come down with that thing a lot.
Yeah,
They need to be sure-handed that game.
but Lamar Jackson versus the NFC.
That is very, but
Inevitable. It's
it
inevitable.
wasn't. It is an NFC team that beat them. Is the one that beat them. Best division in football history.
So that is our full playoff run.
No bias whatsoever in these picks.
No. Not at all.
I'll be wearing the Micah Parsons jersey I got for Christmas when the Super Bowl happens. Shout out to my sister.
Yes, sir. Now, before we go any further, I will be right back. Give me a moment.
All right.
I have to pee.
Oh, okay. What are we doing? What else are we doing though?
Oh, what we're on? I don't know. Whatever else.
How long is this bitch?
Top 3 of the week. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
An hour and 30. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
I'll be right
Okay. I'm gonna take a piss too then.
back. And we're back.
We're back.
Hi. Good to be here.
Piss is relieved. Dirk got let out.
I took a shit. In fact,
I
well,
figured.
It turned into one after I was.
Because I
and
pissed,
saw-
came back,
Yeah.
waited for a little while, and was like, I guess I could let Dirk out. Did that, came back, was like, I guess I could take these dishes down. Took the dishes down, came back, and then that's when you pulled back up.
And then also you were on the TikTok, I guess, because you liked a video I reposted. I saw.
Oh yeah, I was on the tick. Which one was it?
Yep. I don't know. I haven't looked. Probably either maybe it was the Halo split screen one, or maybe it was the I reposted the Derrick Henry video, or the Ryan Tannehill video where he was like, oh yeah, I got DeAndre Hopkins his incentives. Like, worst case scenario, if the coaching staff doesn't like it, I'm like, I'm out of here anyways.
No, that wasn't it. But now I gotta know.
Okay.
That wasn't it though. Hold on. Oh, here, likes. Whoops.
Sweet boy. Sure, I can do the homework.
I mean,
Let me find it. I didn't like the video you reposted.
I have a guess.
Oh, the reason men say women and children first in
Yes.
disasters is so that they could kiss.
Yeah.
Wake up, liberals.
Yeah. Anyways, top three. Top three of the week. Gen 1 Pokemon.
Yes, sir.
As we brought up
as we
brought up multiple times through this series, but since nobody watches these, nobody's pulled up on the streams really.
We're gonna remind y'all again.
We be streaming Wednesday, the day that these pods come out, each on our own channel, a
Hell
Pokemon Red Nuzlocke. Why aren't you pulling up?
Tap in. What the fuck's wrong with y'all?
Come on, bro. Subscribe.
Do it.
Also, during the break when we were in the restroom, I gained a sub and I'm now at 250.
Fuck yeah.
We're now at 250. We're halfway to the year goal.
Halfway. You gonna get to 2K. Real quick, like.
Yeah, for your goal, I'm an eighth of the way there, I think. Right?
Something like that. Yeah, anything
Yeah.
the way. For 2K.
So, but anyways, top three. Gen 1 Pokemon. I gotta think for a second.
I got my 3 left.
Also, I think for the top three, should we just do... Because sometimes I have a hard time... Like, I think of the line as a whole.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Evolutionary, like, because I'm not gonna do, like, for instance, like, if you really like, you wouldn't do.
Like, if you really like a starter line,
Yeah.
you're not going to do the first stage and then the
Top
final
3,
stage.
Squirtle, War Turtle, and Blastoise. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's just the Squirtle line. Which I have my top 3 locked in already.
Yeah, I got my one. God,
I got this is easy for me. Not because there's not other heaters, but because the 3
Okay.
best are just so.
I got the 1, I got the 2. Let me think of the 3 real quick.
Also, Gen 1 means just Gen 1. Like, for instance, like,
The
you
151.
can't throw Magnazone in here. It's just
I don't think
Magnemite and
either of us were going to
No, I
Magnazone.
know. I'm just saying, like
No
Magnemite and
Steelix.
Magneton are both like, yeah, you can have Onyx, but not Steelix.
Yeah,
Steelix is a Gen 2 Pokemon.
we're doing one.
Magnezone's a Gen 4 Pokemon.
We're doing the
That kind of no
151s.
Magby, no Elekid. Like
Um, God, who the fuck is my third? Because when I think about favorite Pokemon, I've only really thought of like my top two, and it's
I can do my three real quick if you want.
just say your
My
three,
number,
like your number three.
all
I
three.
mean,
Okay, yeah, my number three.
hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Abra line
Okay.
for me. The Abra line, which this one maybe would have been higher if I didn't get hoed 3 times during the left a sour taste in my mouth here recently
I
during
really
the
like the Averline. It's been great to me.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, I just know that you caught your Abra first try, and I've had 3 attempts at an Abra and have failed all 3 times. So,
Yeah.
it's been tragic. It's been tragic. So
God,
maybe I'm a little upset still, a little bitter,
I
but
can't wait.
it's not dropping out of the top 3. I love
Yeah.
Abra, Kadabra, and Alabama.
I've decided that whenever we finish the Nuzlocke, I'm gonna do one of those like full recap of a Nuzlocke videos that some YouTubers do, and I cannot wait to get to the point where I talk about
The Abras.
the Abra situation.
The Abra saga is gonna be, but not even just that. I O-code the Oddish, the Mankey.
You went on a heater of just fucking
just
up your first your
4 straight
encounters.
encounters were over, and then I finally caught the Magikarp, and that's really what turned my season around. Was getting LeBron on the team. LeBron the Gyarados puts in work every single day, no questions asked. That man is a trooper. I love LeBron the Gyarados.
Okay.
But yeah, you're number 3, sir.
So I've decided I didn't want this list to be too heavy in being
Yeah.
influenced by this, but because as known, I've been like a Pokemon enjoyer, but like I never really was too into it. So my biggest like intake of Pokemon was the Game Grumps playthrough of it when they played Fire Red. So my 3 and 2 are very heavily influenced by that. But my number 3 is Rattata because it was just a funny thing in that playthrough. They left the Rattata at the daycare and then would consistently bring him up randomly throughout the playthrough because it's 2 guys. One would always be like, because they named it Nert, and they were like, "Yo, where the fuck is Nert?" And the other guy, because the one guy didn't know much about Pokemon, the other one did, and he's like, "Oh, he's off getting fucking strong, swole as fuck." There's a lot of fan animations about like what's going on in the daycare with Nert being like level 99 and just a jacked Rattata, and ultimately they pick him up, and he gained like 17 levels through their time there, but they had him in the party when they finished the game, so he's in the Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah.
So that whole saga with that Rattata.
Also, the first death of the Nuzlocke, Wednesday the Rattata. Your Rattata.
True.
That was the first death of the Nuzlocke.
That's correct.
Yep.
That's also going to be a funny part when I make that recap video of the Nuzlocke, is like just to highlight how like unfamiliar I truly am with Pokemon. I didn't think far enough ahead in getting antidotes, and I lost a Pokemon in the little fucking first forest you go into.
Tragic.
Yeah. But you're number 2.
My number 2. It's a Pokemon I've discussed at length during the Nuzlocke because it's one that I like. It's one that I unfortunately did not get to have on this run, did not get to employ. But it's the Bulbasaur line. We use a random number generator to determine which starter each of us were going to choose. If we had left it up to ourselves, he would have taken Charmander, I would have taken Bulbasaur. He ended up with Squirtle, I ended up with Charmander.
I wonder if I would have. Because it's a Nuzlocke. I wonder if I would have been like, fuck it, I'll go Bulbasaur.
Yeah, but you weren't really familiar with the Nuzlocke.
I knew that much though.
Okay.
About how much better Bulbasaur is in terms of like actually.
Hey, but I beat Brock with a Charmander and a Nidoran and a Pidgey, so I feel like we could all figure it out eventually.
Go off, King.
So, with that being said, excuse me. Love the Venusaur line. Love Mega Venusaur. He's just a cute. Bulbasaur's just a cute little guy. I got a Bulbasaur plushie in the other room. I got a Grookey over here, but I got a Bulbasaur plushie in my living room. It's awesome, man. I love the Bulbasaur line. Goes hard, insanely, unbelievably hard. So that's my 2. You,
My
sir.
number 2 is the Pokemon that just carried me through the Lavender Town Tower and the Grass Gym. Also, again, very heavily because of the Game Grumps playthrough, and that is Beedrill and that whole line. Bug Pokemon, not good in Gen 1.
No.
But I'm going to use that bee as much as I possibly can. And it's inspired because of the Game Grumps playthrough. The main guy playing was like pretending that Beedrill is like a super powerful Pokemon to the other guy, and was like, he knows that the fans are going to make fun of him for using a Beedrill, so he like stubbornly is using a Beedrill the entire playthrough, and he's jokingly like, I'm going to wipe the Elite Four with this bee. It eventually gets overpowered enough, and when they're fighting, God, is there the Elite Four in Gen 1, is there a Psychic type Pokemon in?
Well, we're going to find out when we get there.
I
don't think so, no, because it's just Drowsy and Alakazam, and there's no Psychic type like trainer.
There's Sabrina, but there's not one of the Elite Four.
Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure it's just Drowsy and Alakazam.
There must be something in the Elite Four because he goes the entire playthrough like using this bee, but when it finally matters most, and he's fighting a Pokemon that's like weak to Bug, he forgets to even use the Bug move that Beedrill knows, and dies because he didn't fucking use the Bug move.
Tragic.
It was a highlight of the plate that series. And,
wait, there are no. Oh, it's Fire Red. Okay, I was gonna say there are no attacking Bug moves in Gen 1.
There's Pin Missile and there's Twin Needle. Those are Bug moves.
I think they're both normal type moves in Gen 1.
I'm pretty sure they're Bug.
Gen 1, it's either Bug or Ghost that didn't have an attacking type move. Maybe it was Ghost.
It might be Ghost. I just watched the video talking about Ghost type.
One of Psychic's weaknesses that doesn't have a single attacking move. I don't remember if it was Ghost or.
No, I think they both do have it because I think
one of them does not. I promise you. There's a type in Gen 1 that does not have a single attacking move. I'm gonna have to see which one it is.
Gen 1 Pokemon type with no.
It's either Ghost or Bug, but it's one of those two.
I feel like they're both because I think Twin Needle and Pin Missile are both Bug moves in Gen 1, and then I think Lick. Lick
is a normal type move. If it exists, it's a normal type move.
They have something. Okay. Let's see. Okay, in Gen 1, let's see here.
Ghost types didn't have many good damage affecting moves. Okay, no, they had Lick, Nightshade, and just Lick and Nightshade.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess they had Lick. Then is it
Bug has Leech Life, Pin Missile, and Twin Needle.
What am I thinking of then? There was something that didn't have an attacking move. Maybe I'm crazy. But anyways, Nightshade does fixed damage, so Nightshade doesn't even count because it's not super effective. Lick is the only super effective Ghost-type move against Psychic types in Gen 1.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, Psychic is broken.
Yeah.
In Gen 1.
Yeah, genuinely. Okay, sorry. We were talking about Beedrill.
That was it. I think that was everything.
Okay. We get into my number 1 now?
Yes.
Speaking of Ghost types.
Oh, okay. There's only one line.
We are dangerously close in the Nuzlocke, actually, to encountering this little guy. There's a fella.
Well, we've encountered him. We fought him.
Well, we fought an apparatus an apparition that cannot be identified.
Well, no, the Chandlers.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Well, we're about to encounter him in the wild.
Yeah.
Now that we have the Silpho.
That is actually what we're doing next time.
Hopefully, I will actually catch it. Oh, I am referring, of course, to the Ghastly line. Gengar, cute little purple round feller. Um, he's just awesome, man. Um, Ghastly's cool. Haunter's cool. Gengar, especially, man. Gengar is one of my favorite Pokemon just in general. He's that perfect shade of purple. You know what I mean?
I yes, purple's
he,
my favorite color. He's got a great shade of it.
he is pink purple to me. That is what like when I think of the color purple, the first thing I think of is Gengar. I don't think of like any. I don't even think of royalty anymore when I think of purple. I think of fucking Gengar. Gengar is the first thing I think of. So yeah, I mean, insane move pool even back in Gen 1. You know, bro could learn Psychic, bro could learn Thunderbolt. Um, he had some variety. He gave you a lot of type coverage. He hits like a truck. Um, just awesome. And I love Gengar. What are you doing, man?
I broke something.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
I
What
fixed
did you
it.
broke? Okay.
Doesn't
So
matter.
your mic sounded weird
It
there.
was in my lap.
What is your number one, good sir?
Well, you kind of alluded to this earlier.
I think I know what it is.
Some people are gonna say it's basic.
Yeah, it's me. I'm some people.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be rude.
Your other two picks were
You are
not basic.
you hate when people have basic opinions.
Yeah, I am a contrarian. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You're like, you like what's popular? Gross.
Fucking loser.
It's like,
Hey, I listen to Olivia Rodrigo. Hi,
Dirk's on the schmoove. He's rarely ever really visible. He's always under the bed.
Around a whole lot. He's usually chilling under the bed, maybe in bed just in the corner right next to your chair. But
Yeah,
now he's
big old appearance.
Hi, handsome.
But sometimes things are popular for a pretty fucking good reason.
I would say Charizard. That's fair.
Whoa! Did I say his name? Did I say it was Charizard?
It's fair for your pick. I mean, excuse me. It's fair for your pick.
Fire has always been my favorite Pokemon type.
Yeah.
Basic. I know. That's where you're going. Fire, Fuego is cool, and I get the irony in that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a fucking dragon. Like, what are we talking about?
Actually, he's a fire and flying type.
Okay. Aesthetically, he's a dragon.
He's a dragon.
A cool-ass dragon. That you get to bond with from the very beginning.
Yes.
I mean, he's also the only, because in Japan it was red and green, so it was a Charizard and Venusaur on the covers, and then in America it was red and blue. He's the only one that's in both sides.
Oh, you're right.
Because they know what to market, and it's a big fucking dragon.
They just decided they were going to give him 2 Mega Evolutions because he's too cool to have one.
He's him.
He got a Gigantamax form, I think, before the rest of them did, because the champion had a Gigantamax form.
Makes sense.
Pokemon
Origins is a series that I really enjoyed. In there, Red uses the Charizard.
Charizard X, right?
Yeah, he does go X mode.
Yep.
Also, cool ass
Fun fact,
Mega.
I prefer Charizard Y.
I knew you would.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand.
Both are awesome. I really like both.
I find it a little more viable just because it gets drought when it Mega Evolve. Plus, it's like it retains the original Charizard aesthetic. So like when you have a shiny Charizard and then you just go Mega Charizard Y, it looks like incredible.
I was also about to say one of the best shinies.
Oh, for sure.
Charizard.
Shinies didn't really exist in Gen 1. There was a sparkle, but there was no color. So
yeah,
But yeah, Charizard, one of the best shiny forms.
Dope.
Easily.
Cool as fuck. But yeah.
Well, that's our
top 3 of the week.
It's not like Gengar isn't a basic pick for favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. It's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Among just all Pokemon. Everybody loves Gengar.
He's the number 1 pick for all the edgy kids.
Well, yeah, okay.
But he's awesome. And I love purple. Like, purple's my favorite color, period. So obviously I like him a lot too.
I'm with you.
But yeah.
What you been on?
Been on that Percy.
Been on that person.
I'm caught up.
That shit's coming out in an hour.
like 3.5 hours, I think.
Oh, I thought it was 6:30 Eastern.
The other ones have been coming out 8 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Central.
I'm still watching that shit tonight for
Yeah,
sure. But
regardless.
I got caught up on it too, so we're good now. Um,
Honestly, I don't want to say what we're doing next week in terms of the Pokemon
oh my
segment,
goodness,
but it's like that's all. That's where my brain's been going.
we have such a fun thing
We got
planned for
dude,
next week's podcast. Um,
we got some shit
yeah,
cooking.
because I saw a post today. I'm not gonna get into what it was.
That
I saw
one,
a post today, and the reason I really wanted to make this its own thing was because I just flat out didn't agree with some of the choices
yeah,
I was like there were some obvious ones where I'm like, how in the fuck did you miss that? I can't say anymore because I can't spoil what this is. It's very on brand for us what we're going to be doing next week. It takes two things we really love and puts them together, and it's
well,
going
no,
to
that's I thought
be
we were doing that next week.
oh
We're doing that other thing. That's what I thought.
oh okay yeah, no, you're right
Okay,
okay well I'm wait, spoiler alert for 2 weeks from now we're doing something really really fun
yeah,
as
that
well,
does combine what's been
but
probably
we
the
do
two most
have
topics talked about, I would assume.
yeah, well yeah it sure does, but we have something fun planned for the following week
Yeah,
as
and I'll be
well.
honest, I'm looking.
So
I'm looking. It makes sense because we both pitched the different ones. I am looking
mhm,
more forward to this next week's one.
yeah.
But yeah, next week is going to be pretty fun too.
I'm really blanking on what this next week's one was. Oh wait, oh no, never mind. Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
Oh my god, yes.
yeah.
Okay, this one is going to be this next two.
We got some.
We're
We
getting
got
back
some
to
heaters
we're
coming
getting
up.
back to long form podcasts these next couple of weeks for sure because we've got some absolute
We got some
heaters
heaters coming up,
next
and
2 weeks. So
I'll probably because this next week's is going up on yours channel. I'll probably clip the segment of that
Tony's
one.
walking her dog right now.
I guess it's all cool outside now.
It's not raining anymore, I don't think,
Yeah,
but it looks like shit out there.
dog might probably need to go.
Probably yeah.
But yeah,
But
I'll probably be clipping next week's segment just as a heads up, just because.
so yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I've been on that Percy as well.
Yeah,
I've been on that.
very
Perseus.
excited for this episode, this next one.
I've been on that. Been on that Percy.
Love Tunnel this week.
And I have also been on that Pirates of the Caribbean. I've started watching these films. I've never seen them before, so I watched the first two. I'm really, really excited to watch At World's End, which is the third one. However, I'm watching it with a friend of mine, so I'm waiting until he can come over so I can watch it with him. Yeah, two men hanging out, watching.
How it
Um,
fucking should
and
be.
It took me a little bit to watch the first two movies because as I was watching the first film, which is Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl, I got the sudden urge to replay Assassin's Creed Black Flag
Oh yeah, sudden. How random.
because yeah, totally unrelated to the media I was consuming. But I'm like, man, I should go play Pirates of the Caribbean right now. So I started playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and yeah, I am really enjoying this experience once again. It's probably my favorite Assassin's Creed game. And granted, it's a lot of people's favorite. I feel like most people, like if you've played a lot of Assassin's Creed, your favorite is either something from the Ezio trilogy or it's Assassin's Creed Black Flag for the most part. Most people's favorite is either 2, Revelations, whatever the other Ezio game was that's blanking on me right now, and then Assassin's Creed 4. Um,
I
everything
never
after
got too
4
heavy into
is
Assassin. I
51.
think the only ones I ever really played were 3 and 4.
3 and 4 are fantastic. I really like 3. I think 3 is underrated.
I love 3.
What's really cool about 3 and 4 is like you play as like it's generationally you play as you play as the grandfather, the father, the son.
Yeah.
So you play as in the first game, and in 3 you play as Hatham and Connor, and then in the fourth game you play as Edward, who is Hatham's father. And there's even a little like after the game ends, like while the credits are rolling, there's this little sequence where you're sailing on the ship and Hatham is on the boat with you. So
And then there's
it's
the
like,
twist in 3 where you're like, oh, he's.
well, it's a bait and switch in 3 because you start out playing as a Templar because you start playing as Hatham.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's like a
Yeah,
twist
the
of
Templar.
like, oh,
And
he's a this.
for the first like 5 hours of the game, you're playing as the enemy,
Yeah.
and then finally,
Which I
after a
didn't know
while,
going in. I think I don't think I
yeah,
knew that going in.
I didn't either. But then after a while, he porks that Indian lady, the Native American, and then boom, there you go. There's a son. You have a son. There's a son, and now you're the son. I wish they had committed to him being Native American a little more, as far as like really going into like, I think they were afraid to do too much culturally. I think is something I heard.
Huh.
But anyway, I do have Assassin's Creed 3. I want to replay that after I'm done playing Assassin's Creed 4. I want to play them in chronological order. So when I'm done replaying 4, I'll replay 3. 3 has a lot of really fun gameplay mechanics that I really like as well. My only issue with Assassin's Creed 4 is that whenever you're on land, the game feels a little stripped back. There's not quite as many like mechanics of like, they very clearly devoted most of the resources to being on the water, which is fine for me because the pirate stuff is really fucking fun. Um, and it's I'm glad they built on it because the pirate stuff was first introduced, like the ship missions were introduced in Assassin's Creed 3 when you get the Aquila, I think it's called, the ship that Connor uses. That's like that was like the precursor to Assassin's Creed 4.
Mhm.
Where they were like, oh, this is cool, let's build on this, and they did, and it's awesome. So I have a lot of fun with Assassin's Creed 4. I'm probably gonna play it after we're done here. No, I'm gonna watch Grant Carthon's press conference from 4 p.m. and then I'm gonna play Assassin's Creed Black Flag. But yeah, that's what I've been on lately.
I just remember what else I've been on. I just started tapping into this. I got it for Christmas, but stuff, I was pushing it back. But I finally started playing some Super Mario RPG.
Hell yeah!
Pretty solid. It's just a fun little mindless game. I'll be playing like when I'm done with like all the important stuff I do through the day, like just working on videos, working out. If I actually go out to work, tapping in to some Mario RPG.
Fuck yeah!
But yeah, fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've really been on. I did buy a new Zord that's coming in the mail, I think tomorrow, which is fun. Always love being able to add. It's the newest one, so it's the cheapest one.
I wish you were coming over so I could come in the mail.
Okay.
Sorry. Anywho, Zord, that's gonna go hard. Can't wait for the showcase next week.
I'll probably make like a little YouTube short, Instagram reel, ticker talk for it. Like I did the last time I got a new one. I know I made one. You can kind of see it here. Yeah. Some heat's on the way. Oh.
I got a really good idea for that thing we're doing next week. But it kind of breaks a rule you mentioned earlier. But it makes perfect sense, so it's something I'll talk to you about when we're done.
Okay. I only have like one kind of guess of what that could be, but that I don't even know if that would be what you're doing. Anyway, I also added this curtain. I don't think this wasn't here last time I did the pod. There's no now when I record there won't be this illuminating glow when I'm recording sometimes.
Yeah, curtain goes hard. Curtain goes hard.
Yeah, it makes the room feel more full too, so that's nice. Eventually, I gotta make the graphic myself and then put it on like the website to buy it. But I'm gonna get the banner, the Fantasy Championship banner.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Because all the ones you find are just generic ones that just say it, like Fantasy Champion in the year. But I want the motherfuckers' players' names on that bitch.
Yeah, Tank Bell's gonna be there. Puka Nakua's gonna be there.
Yep. Justin Jefferson, Kyron Williams, Rain Dakota Prescott will be on there. But yeah. There's going to be 2 defenses on the banner as well, which is funny. But yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've really been on. What about you? Is that it for you?
I think that was it for me.
Yeah, I think that's it for me too.
Hell yeah. Oh, I've been watching football lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been watching football.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching basketball too. Luke is the MVP of the NBA.
Oh, well, something we haven't brought up yet that I feel like I may not be talking about basketball much the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Demetrius Jamal Morant has a torn labrum and is getting season-ending shoulder repair surgery. So
played 9
tragic.
games.
We were like 6-3 or 7-2 in those games too.
Well, the good news is you guys have your own pick, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say top 5 picks could have hit like crack. Taylor Jenkins is a Guangdong Tiger. We're gonna have a new head coach and a top 5 draft pick next year, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, but I think we're done here, right?
I think we're done here. So
All right.
been a jam packed week. Been an interesting week. Been a
Yeah,
fun week.
pretty
I
good.
almost died from the conditions outside,
You're right.
but I didn't. So we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's gonna end it here. Pokemon every Wednesday.
Pokemon.
Check that shit out. Next week's
Put that shit on.
next week's episode will be over on Avillion Talks, so check that out. But that's gonna be it for this video. So go ahead and leave a comment below. Those always help out a lot in performance of videos. Subscribe as always. I would always really appreciate that. It'd be weird if you're not subscribed if you've made it this far.
I mean, what? Yeah, what the hell? What are you doing 2 hours into this shit not subscribed?
Kind of weird. Yeah, next
Kinda
week
silly,
episode
kinda
on Avillion Talks. That's getting it here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep gaming.
Peace.